without the suit?
Then you shouldn't wear it.
On this episode of Remakes, what were they thinking? We explore the theme of Marvel's own Spider-Man.
Before we begin, we have a ChatterBox Diva disclaimer.
Okay, so we know that Spider-Man is the longest running comic book series that Marvel Comics has put out.
Marvel.
Spider-Man's first appearance was in August of 1962. So when you do the math, you can tell he's been around a long time. So there's many different stories, there's many different backstories, whatever.
I think there should be a geriatric one.
Yikes. Anyway, you don't have to really know the basic plot besides the fact that there's a young boy who ends up getting spit by a radioactive spider and then has superpowers. Wow! Okay.
Right.
So, we're not going to bore you with like all the plot details. However, we may get some things wrong. So, first and foremost, don't at me, fanboys. The fact that you have two beautiful women who have taken their week to watch 3 different Spider-Men, you should be like, ooh, amazing.
So Google some information.
Absolutely.
Or ask your son or grandson
Or
for
your
details.
nephew, whatever.
Whatever. We're
All
just here
right.
to have fun.
Indeed. So our criteria for this episode is as followed. We are dealing with a live action movie and the reboot of a Marvel character. So unfortunately, no cartoon versions.
No
this time
sequels.
around. No sequels either. So our first origin film would be the 2002 Spider-Man.
And the next up that we saw was 2012, The Amazing Spider-Man.
And our final one was the 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming.
Now, why were there so many remakes in such a short time period?
Well, because they wanted to keep the Spider-Man name relevant, but also we have a lot of Marvel Studio movies that were being made, particularly with this one. So they took some artistic liberties and said,
Well, they sure did.
hey, let's put Spider-Man in with the Avengers.
Well, and they had Stan Lee on board, so as long as Stan Lee said, "Money, please."
All right, so we've covered our ChatterBox Divas PSA. Let's talk about our protagonist,
The Spider Guy.
Peter Parker. So, in the 2002, Peter Parker was portrayed by Tobey Maguire. And what'd you think?
The first movie, so I didn't know what to expect. He was okay. I mean, kind of plain, kind of boring. I mean, intense. And when he spoke, he barely moves his mouth. But that's an actor thing. He reminded me of Clutch Cargo. But, I mean, he got the job done. Well done. First movie. Our next Spider-Man is portrayed by Andrew Garfield.
What'd you think of Andrew Garfield?
I loved him.
I freaking loved him as
Oh my
Spider-Man.
gosh.
Okay, look. I thought that the 2012 movie was gonna suck because I was like seriously? But honestly, he was believable.
He was good. He was good. He had a range of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You believed him as a tormented teenager. You felt sorry for him when he, cried or when he was in peril.
He
loved
was
him.
like an outcast who was a skater. He was the photographer for the school. I don't know. There was just something about him that my heart was like, oh, buddy.
And the way he evolved with the changes, very believable.
Very believable.
I didn't hate him.
I actually loved him.
The movie flew by with him.
Loved him. Okay. Tom Holland was in the 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming, and take it away.
Well, I mean, several times I was saying, "Are you kidding me?"
She did a lot.
What?
A lot. It was actually a refreshing change from, oh my God.
There was some of that.
Look, okay.
I thought they portrayed him as being kind of clumsy and immature and irresponsible.
I really was like annoyed by him. Like if he was in my classroom, I'd be like, get out.
And you're supposed to have sympathy for the main character. I mean, he was so impulsive.
I found him annoying.
So that's a director thing, probably.
Possibly. I think we should move on to how they were when they put on the spider suit.
The suit. Okay, before we talk about the superhero suits, I want to give my mommy disclaimer. I don't generally watch superhero films. So, when I saw costumes being made out of whatever and things happening here and there and everywhere, I had to say to myself, okay, this is from a comic book. I have to take it in and accept it as real. Okay?
All right. All
All
right.
right.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. So, the infamous suit.
Okay.
The delicious spandex. So, our first Peter Parker as Spider-Man in 2002. I felt whenever he put on the suit, he felt he had a big sense of responsibility and he was going to fight crime in New York. He was your neighborhood Spider-Man.
And he wasn't scrambling to get it on.
No!
It was a costume, he became that person.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
2012.
I think he was still trying to figure out who he was in the suit, and they spent a lot of time developing that part of his character of Spider-Man. So he sometimes was a little clumsy, a little awkward.
But nonetheless believable.
Yes.
Believable, indeed.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so first off, you should know that this Peter Parker gets his suit from Tony Stark. So already he's spoiled, okay? And it's got more bells and whistles than he knows what to do with it.
Well, remember, Tony Stark kept updating his own outfit for Iron Man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The kid doesn't even take the time to learn how to use his suit.
And he's always scrambling behind an alley to put his suit on.
It's like a hot mess. And then he finds out that his suit can talk to him, and he names her Karen. I mean,
Karen, he names
freaking funny that it's
he
Karen.
names the suit Karen.
I mean,
Let's
like,
think
come
about
on.
that for a minute.
But like, seriously, can someone get him some Ritalin or something? 'Cause
Really?
he's
And
just
weren't the
off
wrist
the
pieces?
wall.
The wrist pieces weren't they separate in his? They were separate. They were bands, right? They weren't
Yeah.
part of the suit because he lost those at one point in time. Irresponsibility. Time to talk about the villain.
Okay, so let's start with 2002, which is basically our typical origin story for Spider-Man. So our villain is the Green Goblin. Now the Green Goblin is Dr. Norman Osborn. Spoilers. And he is in charge of Oscorp Laboratories. Now he goes against protocol and puts himself in a gas chamber and injects himself with a serum to make him this amazing person with like superpowers, but instead it goes like awry and he ends up being a menacing bad guy.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Exactly. So he
Nasty.
is
I can't tell you how many times I yelled at the TV.
screaming at the TV constantly. Ah! I'm like, dude, this is like a PG-13 stylized action film. Like, come on now. Dr. Osborn is played by Willem Dafoe, and dude is freaking incredible in my opinion. So the voice alone just like freaks you out. So that is our villain for the 2002 version.
The mask and the helmet thing, that didn't work for me.
Okay, all right.
So now we're going to talk about the villain in the second picture. It was Dr. Kurt Connors. And he was very insecure, first of all, because he was missing part of his arm. So he was developing a serum that could regenerate growth. And the serum had reptile DNA. So the guy turns into a big old, mean, nasty lizard. Big surprise if it had reptile DNA.
And then he had like these little lizard minions and he was living underground. Okay, first off, lizards on a subway? No. Rats? Yes. Cockroaches? Absolutely. But lizards? Lizards? No! Ugh.
I also felt that his character, we were more sympathetic to him because he was struggling with his self-image and his ability to be a normal person. But then when he changed it to something mean and nasty, I didn't find it quite so believable.
He kind of looked like a dinosaur.
And he wanted to have more super strength people and turn more into lizards.
He kept injecting himself and injecting himself. It was almost...
So he had an addiction, okay? He had an addiction.
Dude needs some therapy.
Yes.
Let's talk about our final villain. Okay, so our final villain is Vulture, but we actually had to look up his real name, which is Adrian Toomes. Whoops.
Played by Michael Keaton. How could I I hate Mr. Mom?
You mean Beetlejuice?
Oh my goodness.
Look, if you don't realize how amazing Michael Keaton is as an actor, you've been living under a rock. Dude is phenomenal.
Was so good. I really hated him, and I didn't want to hate him.
Oh, I love him. I love to hate him. Like, he's just fantastic.
So he becomes a villain out of situation. He lost his job.
Yep.
He lost his job to the city, cleaning up the mess that the superheroes caused in a war.
The Avengers, and
And then city comes in and says, nope, now it's our turn. We're going to take care of it.
And he has this, like, strong hatred to Tony Stark and Stark Enterprises and the Avengers and everything. Like, he is just angry at them.
And the difference with this kind of superhero is he didn't morph into some kind of creature.
Nope.
He became a villain, like I said, out of situation, and he used articles that he found while cleaning up to create his own villain.
He was appropriating alien devices or whatever, and then turning them into these counterfeit weapons and trying to sell them on the black market.
And he made this awesome set of wings, and he flew it. It was really amazing, I've got to say.
I gotta say.
liked it. But he scared me.
Vulture
He really did.
saved this movie for me.
He was nasty.
Yep, he was an asshole.
So we better wrap this up, because apparently I have a lot of opinions about Spider-Man. Who'd have thought?
Who knew? Maybe she should read the comic book series.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so, again, 2002. If you want a good origin story with a little bit of romance, I mean, Tobey Maguire is not my favorite, but I mean, nonetheless, near and dear to my heart because I did see it in the movie theater
Good
when it came out.
introduction.
Very good introduction of Spider-Man. I was actually very surprised about this 2012 version with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
We were like show-me's.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, what on earth am I going to like from this?
But you
I didn't yell so much at the
No,
TV. Oh my gosh, I had a lot of
no.
yelling for this one.
Yes.
Okay.
But what was your favorite scene?
I loved when Spider-Man saved the little boy that went over the side of the bridge and he was in the car. Just the tender moment, the way he told him not to be afraid. That was my favorite.
Andrew Garfield is my Spider-Man. The end.
Good job on him.
Great job, Andrew.
Best Spider-Man.
Best Spider-Man.
Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think maybe a combination?
So if we could actually marry the two, like if we could have Andrew Garfield playing the Spider-Man but using more of this
And the same beginning.
origin
I like the
story.
beginning.
So use the beginning
Yep.
here. Use the struggles and how he figures it out.
Yep.
But this story.
Yep.
Okay?
We don't
And
need it to be a
We
love
don't need
story.
MJ. We don't
No.
need it. I mean, the upside down kiss I love. But nonetheless, we don't need it, okay? So
This one? No. It was very, very comic book, can I say that? And I think it was geared towards younger viewers because it was non-stop action. And I'm like, save the people already.
look, I gave up on it halfway through and I turned to my phone and I was like,
that's
you
a
know.
sign of a...
If I don't like the movie and I go on my phone, that's a bad thing, okay?
And Mr.
Just
Joe,
saying.
you know what Mr. Joe said? Because he watched it with us. He said, and I quote, "Can I tell you that this movie sucked?"
And he loves Independence
He
Day.
loves adventure pictures.
So there you go.
So, in terms of what were they thinking?
I think Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios is trying their hardest to keep the longest running comic book alive and relevant. So I commend you for that because you guys have great box office numbers. Well done.
And also, don't you think that they know it's a good thing and they know it's a popular thing, so they just keep running with it?
Absolutely. I mean, money. I didn't realize that you would have so many opinions about comic book movies.
Don't let it get out, okay?
I mean, look, Anne was very hesitant about doing this theme. I'm not going to lie. I think she was like, I don't want to do this.
I dragged my feet.
But you know what? I think it was good for her.
It enriched my perspective on movies.
Indeed.
Yes. But our next theme, I think you're going to love.
Yeah, what are we doing? I don't even know.
We are going to watch the original Cheaper by the Dozen
Okay.
with Clifton Webb
Okay.
and the remake
Oh, with Steve Martin.
with Steve Martin.
All right, all right.
So that's all we're going to say for now.
That's it.
And we will see you next time.
On Remakes,
What were they thinking?
As always, folks, stay safe, wash our hands.
Thanks for watching. We love you.
Bye.